And I've got to be honest, I'm a little bit confused. Just a tiny bit confused. Because it says it's the season finale. Apparently, it's the season finale of NWA Power. And I'm really confused because I'm sure that Into the Fire starts on the 14th. So that means that is there not a go-home show? Is this the go-home show? What's actually going to be on next Tuesday? So, yeah, not sure what's going to be taking place. Hello to C Wrestling. Hello to Anna Dawes. Jim, my grandma told me she saw Andre the Giant wrestle in the 80s and she hated it. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hello, LSW. Hope you are well. Jim Ackerman, shout out to you, LSW. Hello to everyone in the chat. I'm literally getting lost in your conversations here. So yeah, as I said, it's a little bit weird next week. A little bit weird because I don't know if there's a go-home show or not. But we know that we've got the pay-per-view just round the corner. Yeah, really, really excited to see that. It's shaping up to be an excellent show. Let's go down and have a look because I have been taking a look at the matches. So Ken Anderson, Mr. Anderson versus Eli Drake. That's one of the matches that's going to be on that pay-per-view. Into the Fire. As well as that, we've got Ashley Vox and Allisyn Kay against Melina. So I think they've confirmed Melina is going to be actually part of this. And then I think we vote for Thunder Rosa or Marti Belle. So looks like Melina's been confirmed. If we keep going down, then we've got Trevor Murdoch versus question mark. That's the match that everyone's waiting for. Trevor Murdoch versus question mark karate. So that should be a lot of fun. And Nick Aldis versus James Storm. There we go. Nick Aldis versus James Storm. 2 out of 3 falls. Title match. So very much looking forward to that. Before we get stuck into the chat talking to all of you guys, before I forget, don't forget, this is the NWA podcast. Those guys are on straight after Power. So make sure that you jump over to their channel. If you want to continue talking and discussing all things NWA, then go over to This Is the NWA podcast. Absolutely love those guys. Saw they were kind enough to tweet out about this stream as well, which was really appreciated. So, yeah, big fan of what they do over there. So, you'll probably find me over there, actually. I'm normally over there straight away. So, yeah, love what they do. EK1988-1 says, karate time. It is indeed. This is my favorite stream. I absolutely love the NWA stream, so I'm a little bit concerned about this being the season finale. This is what I'm worried about. This is why I'm panicking, because I want to be here next week. But I don't know if we're going to be here next week. I don't know what's happening next Tuesday, so we're going to have to wait and see. KJ Carter, thank you very much, my friend. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate the support. Dave is here as well. Dave says, how's it going, my friend? I hope all is well. It is, buddy. Thank you so much for the kind donation. Yes, everything's good, apart from the fact that it said season finale, which I didn't even know about until literally 5 minutes before the stream started, and now I'm wondering what's going to be on next Tuesday. I'm really confused. I don't know what they're doing, because Into the Fire is on the 14th, which means that there's got to be a show next week. There's got to be a go-home show, but I don't know if there is. I saw someone asking about what are they doing about commentary. That's from Wrestling News. Honestly, don't know is the answer. My gut feeling is that they're probably going to have redone the commentary. They kind of threw a show together last week and got very mixed reviews. I think we gave it a 6. I think we gave it a 6 out of 10. I thought the Thunder Rosa documentary was excellent. I thought there was large parts of that show that was really good. I really enjoyed the empty arena match, even though it was a couple of minutes long. Really loved what they were doing after, where the Dawsons were reading Shakespeare. Really enjoyed that. I really feel like NWA do comedy very, very well. Very, very well. So yeah, I was really enjoying parts of last week, but as I said, to only have one match that was about 2 minutes long in an hour-long show, you know, it wasn't quite right, was it? You could tell that wasn't the plan. You could tell that last week was kind of thrown together because of Jim Cornette. This week, I think we're going to get back to a normal show. I think we're going to go back to a normal Power. So it wouldn't surprise me if they've maybe just redone the commentary. Got Joe Galley to just redo the commentary on the matches. So we'll have to wait and see. It doesn't bother me in the slightest if we get Jim Cornette again. It doesn't bother me at all. But I know there's people out there that would be bothered. Anna Dawes, I'm going to miss Into the Fire. I'm gutted. Stupid work commitments. That's a real shame, bud. That's a real shame. It really should be a really good show. I think the card looks very strong. And who knows, there might even be some more matches that get added. Plus, we've got the curveball. I don't know if you saw this, but the Great Muta. The Great Muta was face-to-face with Nick Aldis. Now, for those of you that don't know who the Great Muta is, you are talking about one of the most legendary Japanese wrestlers of all time. Like, multiple-time champion over in Japan with New Japan. In loads of different promotions, actually. I think Asuka has said that the Great Muta is her favorite wrestler. So, look, I mean, if they can get that match made, that would be absolutely huge. Great Muta versus Nick Aldis. I would love to see that. I would absolutely love to see that. Joaquin is here. Joaquin, of course, we know how to pronounce your name now. That's put to bed. Joaquin says, where do you watch the pay-per-view? I would recommend you watch it round your house. I mean, you can probably watch it round a friend's if you want to. In regards to what station it's on, it's through Fight. I still haven't pre-ordered it. I need to pre-order it because I think if you pre-order it, it's cheaper. Here you go. Look, if you go to NWA on Twitter, there you can see the post for James Storm versus Nick Aldis. There's actually links and information that's on that post as well. So yeah, Fight TV. And you can get it at the cheaper price, the pre-order price, up until December 7th. So you've got another 4 days to pre-order it. I think, is it $20 rather than $25 or something like that? So definitely worth pre-ordering. And it'll be through Fight, which is where I have to watch AEW anyway. So it's not a problem for me to do that. Stephen Lazo is here. Shout out to Stephen Lazo. Stephen says, good evening, Days. Good evening, Stephen. Love the streams. This is my first dono. What's a dono? Donation. Thank you very much, my friend. Dono. I've never heard it called a dono. So I feel like you've really used that first dono very well. You've actually introduced a whole new word into like my vocabulary. Dono. So thank you very much, Stephen. Thank you very much to Joaquin as well. And of course to Dave, KJ Carter. And we always have to shout out Jessie Callum because, you know, she insists on it. So we've got our list of legends. I can see this is the NWA podcast. Hello, guys. Guy. I don't know who it is. I'm guessing Adam. I can see Gary's here as well. Shout out to Gary. Shout out to Adam. Shout out to everyone that wants a shout out. It's a steal. The lineup is amazing. I completely agree. I really think that there could be a surprise in there somewhere as well. We've had a couple of little moments. Obviously, Rock and Roll Express, who will be in action tonight. We're getting Rock and Roll versus Wildcard tonight. And I'm really intrigued by that match because out of all of the tag teams, I feel like Wildcard is the team I know probably least about. Like, I know loads about Dawsons, I know loads about Eddie Kingston and Homicide. I don't feel like I know a great deal about Wildcard. So, Wildcard defending the titles against Rock and Roll Express. Really, really excited to see that match go down. And that goes down not at the pay-per-view, tonight. So, yeah, that should be a lot of fun. In fact, we haven't found out yet who Wildcard are going to be defending against. I'm pretty sure they're going to put their titles on the line at Into the Fire. So that's something that we need to hopefully find out later. But as I said, I really believe we're going to get some kind of a moment. I would hope that there would be some kind of a moment. I think it'd be really cool if, like, Nick Aldis was to beat James Storm. Great. I'm sure it's going to be a great match. 2 out of 3 falls. There's going to be so many twists and turns. There's so much potential for, just loads of stuff that they can do in that match with that time. I'd love it if Nick Aldis won, and then out steps Muta, or Muta attacks, the great Muta attacks, or something along those lines. I think that would be a lot of fun. I really do, and I really think that Corgan could have something like that up his sleeve, So we'll have to wait and see. Right, we've got Eric Haberman. Eric the Haberman. Haber says, Haber rhymes with Shabba. Breaking news. So, Eric says Vince McMahon is unveiling the XFL uniforms tonight at 8 p.m. Okay. Well, XFL is definitely something that I've got an eye on. I'm not sure how successful it's going to be. I don't know what their expectations are. I'm seeing no buzz about it whatsoever. I believe it starts in February, so I really expected something by now. I know we've had a few announcements and things, but yeah, I really expected there to be a bit more momentum than what we've seen with the XFL. This is obviously going to be a big deal for Vince in February. He's put a lot of money into this. So I'm keeping a close eye on it because I'm really interested in, what's the expectation? Is it going to be successful? Is it going to return in 2021? So on, so on, so on. So, yeah, I'll definitely be keeping an eye out for that. Thank you very much to Eric the Haberman. Shabba. Daze, do you think that Balor and Kai would work, but they wouldn't be a couple? I don't think so. Just because I don't think Balor needs Dakota Kai. Dakota Kai might benefit from having Finn Balor, but Balor doesn't need Dakota Kai. He's just out there on his own, so I can't see the benefit to both of them by putting them together. Just because they're heels, I don't know. If there was like a faction or something, and maybe Balor wants to go after Undisputed Era, but he wants to bring the women's title into the faction as well. I could lean towards that. But just having them two together feels a little clunky. What's your favourite NWA female superstar of all time? Dean Winchester, that is a great question. If this is the NWA podcaster still around, or Gary is still around, they would be better placed to answer that, because my knowledge of the history of the NWA is just nowhere near as good as, like, theirs, obviously. I'm trying to fill in some gaps. I'm listening to a lot of, like, Jim Cornette. I do find that the 10 Pounds of Gold series is a fantastic series, but it only touches on what's been happening over the past few years. And what I really want is I want to go back to the 40s. I want to look at the 50s, and I want to look at the 60s. I think when you're talking about the history of the NWA, you're kind of talking about the history of wrestling, aren't you? Because NWA was all of the territories. So for those of you that don't know about the history of wrestling, let's quickly touch on it. You had, like, all the different states and areas in the US had their own wrestling promotions. So you had things like Memphis and Mid-South and Stampede up in Canada and obviously the AWA and all of these different promotions. And obviously they all had their own champions. But there was one like Overlord. Let's call him the Overlord. The Overlord champion, the main man, the Big Daddy. Yeah, he would go around and carry the world champion. There was only one NWA world champion. And that is the belt that Nick Aldis has got now. This is why we've said in the past that, you know, this is the World Heavyweight Championship because NWA is older than WWE and it in many ways is wrestling. So if you're talking about what is the best NWA female superstar of all time, it's very, very difficult to say because you are talking basically about what is the best female wrestler of all time in North America. I feel like you've got to say Fabulous Moolah. I think I'm sure her title was NWA affiliated. Let's have a look. This is the kind of stuff that I live for. This Fabulous Moolah. This is like the Tuesday stream is where I get to geek out. Yeah, this is the exact kind of conversation I want to be having. Right, I can tell you that the Fabulous Moolah won the NWA World Women's Championship in 1956. And she would go on to hold the title. I mean, many of you will know this. Some of you won't, right? Guess. Let's play a guessing game. How many, not months, years, how many years did the Fabulous Moolah hold that title for? Here we go. And I'll give a shout out to whoever is the first to get it right. So there we go. She won it in 1956. How many years did she hold onto that belt for? So I've gone with the Fabulous Moolah, but I can't say she was the best. She's just the most decorated, if you want to put it that way. Mildred Burke, much more historic than Moolah. NWA Power starts in 11 minutes. It does, you're right. Let's have a look. Yes! Sufjan OA is correct. The answer, amazingly, 28 years. The Fabulous Moolah was the NWA Women's Champion for 28 years. Talk about a champion. I mean, we could really get... I'd love to do, like, a stream, maybe on a Sunday when there's nothing on, where we literally just talk about the history of wrestling, because I don't claim to know the whole history of wrestling. I don't even know 0.1% of the history of wrestling, but I feel like I know the big stuff. I feel like I can get from the early 1900s to where we are now. I know that. There's obviously lots that I don't know. But, man, I think that could be a lot of fun, where we, like, just ask questions, use Google, talk about the answers. I think that could be... I mean, it would be great for me. Let's put it this way. I'd have a lot of fun. I'd have the time of my life. I really would. It's exactly the kind of stuff that I love. I actually bought a couple of books today as well, which... Let me go onto my phone, and then I can show you what I bought. I bought... Jim Cornette's Behind the Curtain, which is like wrestling stories throughout the years. It's still downloading, actually. I bought that hours ago. Hours and hours and hours ago. So I bought that, and then look at this. This is the guy that set up Progress Wrestling here in the UK. He now works for NXT UK behind the scenes. I haven't read this yet, so I can't recommend it, but I am very, very excited to get stuck into it. It's called I'm Sorry, I Love You, The History of Professional Wrestling by Jim Smallman. Jim Smallman helped set up Progress in the UK, and now he works for NXT UK. And, yeah, the history of professional wrestling. So I've got a Jim Cornette book, which I'm looking forward to reading, because talks a lot about stories, old stories that I've never heard of, and the history of professional wrestling. That is what I will be doing in my spare time from now on. When people asking me, have you seen this? Have you seen that? The answer is no. I'm reading about the history of professional wrestling. Right, we're 8 minutes away. This is History Days. It is History Days. You're absolutely right, yes. History Sunday. Now, that's good content. Defo, we could have a Sunday stream. I am well up for a History Day stream. Old school wrestling. Yeah, I mean, look, what I wouldn't do is I wouldn't want to make it boring. I don't think there's much fun in talking about a load of wrestlers that no one's heard of, you know? Kind of going through like loads of stuff and different territories and all of this that no one's going to care about. But honestly, I think if you talk about wrestlers from the past and you can explain like how they're connected to today or how they pushed the story forward, then I really feel like people would find that interesting. Because I say that with a degree of confidence, because I would find that interesting, and I can't be alone. Like, people surely want to know about Frank Gotch and the importance of him and Farmer Burns and straight the way through into the 40s, and why did wrestling... I mean, I was reading today why wrestling... Do you know, in the 1900s, wrestling, boxing, and baseball were the three big sports in America: wrestling, boxing, and baseball. And by about the 20s, wrestling had really fallen away. The popularity of wrestling had gone down. And I was reading as to why. And one of the big reasons, I'm going to move off this subject, don't worry, I can see people falling asleep. But one of the big reasons why wrestling started to decline was all because of one guy, Frank Gotch, who had been the world champion. I think he'd been world champion for like 13 years or something like this. And it got to the point where it was time for him to retire. So he retired, and there was no one that was as good or as big a name as him to take it forward. And so without Frank Gotch around, the popularity of it just started to go down like this. Of course, it came back again. But yeah, I was reading, and I love all of that. I find that so fascinating. So I could quite happily talk on that subject for a long time. But I think it's about making it interesting, isn't it? And I don't know, maybe that's like a geeky stream for me rather than for the internet. Right, we are only 5 minutes away now. There's me geeking out and just chatting away about the history of wrestling. But we are 5 minutes away. The reason why we were talking about that is because I was saying I don't know enough about the history of the NWA. I really, really want to learn more. And as you can see, I'm trying to do that with the history of wrestling because the NWA is wrestling. So by learning the history of wrestling, you're automatically learning about the NWA. I'm with you, Days. I'm fascinated by wrestling history. I'm hoping this is the NWA. We'll dig deep into that in the coming years as well. Would love to see your take also. The NWA history is rich. Awesome, Gary. Thank you very much, my friend. I'm really pleased. As I was talking, in my head, there was a voice going, only you care. Stop talking. No one cares. So at least I feel like I wasn't completely on my own. So thank you very much, buddy. But I agree. I mean, I don't know how you make it a job, but if I could be like a wrestling historian, I'd be very, very happy with that. Very, very happy. I don't know how that helps anyone in the world. Like, I mean, we've got Google now, so we don't really need wrestling historians. But yeah, that's something that I would absolutely love to get my teeth into. It's really weird because I hated history at school. Couldn't stand history. Bored. But like the history of wrestling, I'm proper into that. Cornette's going to be on this week's show. Check the description. Well done, Y2J fanboy, doing a little bit of Columbo work there. Has found out already that Jim Cornette is going to be on this show. Nails and MY says, Days is never boring. I've become interested in stuff I didn't care about just because Days was talking about it. That's really kind, buddy. Thank you very much. Thank you. I hope and assume tonight will be a normal, awesome episode of Power. Tall Paul 2000s, I think it will be. There's a couple of matches that are advertised for tonight. Most notably, a tag team championship match that's going to see Rock and Roll Express taking on Wildcard. And we were saying just moments ago that Wildcard are really a team I don't know enough about. I'm intrigued by them. I like the look of them, but I don't know nothing about them. So I really want to see them in action tonight. I'm looking forward to seeing them in action tonight. And of course, it's always cool to see like the Rock and Roll Express. I think the presentation of the Rock and Roll Express is very interesting because they are presented as like really credible opponents. They're not treated as like legends that are coming in to, you know, mess around and have a bit of fun. They're really treated like, you know, serious threats. And that's cool. I'm kind of into that. I know that I've got a feeling that they were tag champs quite recently. So they are threats, to tell the truth. So yeah, it's always cool to see these guys. And of course, they've been on AEW recently as well, haven't they? So in a way, this is like an AEW invasion. It'd be cool if there could be a few other AEW stars that would jump over to Power, but not sure we're going to see that for whatever reason. Days, what if Bray only ripped off the back and sides of Daniel's hair and only left the hair on the head so he looked like Bray a little bit? Yeah, he could have done that. Thank you very much, Kelly, for the kind words. Days, do you think there'll be a Lana figure with the outfit that she wore last night? I don't think so. It was a very, very risky outfit, wasn't it? I mean, it was such a risky outfit. I had to go to church today just to, do you know what I mean? Make sure everything was good between me and the big guy. Because I felt like I'd sinned just even looking at Lana in that outfit. So, yeah, I think all's good in the hood between me and the big man. Days, check the NWA site. No power till... Oh my God, Anthony! Anthony is bringing the news that we dreaded. No power till the 17th. So there is no go-home show next week. What's that about? What you talking about, Willis? What is that about? I don't understand. How have they got like a massive show coming up and they've gone, should we do a show just before? Nah, don't bother. Don't bother. It'll be all right. People will watch it. Yeah, I'll be fine. I don't understand. Crazy. I hope that's not got anything to do with like Jim Cornette or anything. I hope they haven't cancelled an episode or something. I gotta be honest, I didn't know they were doing it like this. I thought that they were gonna just keep the ball rolling now. I thought we were up and running. I thought that was it. Every Tuesday for the rest of the time, you know, we were going to be powering, but apparently not. I need to shower, but NWA is 1 minute and then it's dark. I'm going to be tired. Days, I've ordered my Funhouse Christmas jumper. Very cool, my friend. Very, very cool. I'm going to make wrestling based on wrestling. I don't even understand what that means. Tuesdays are my favourite stream of the week, and then Friday followed by Wednesday, then sadly Monday. Oh, I hate Mondays. Yesterday's Raw was horrible. I had to have a shower. I had to go to church, and I had to have a shower. And that's not good, is it? They're not two good things that you have to do following a wrestling show. Actually, this is going to be the go-home show. Yes, it will. Cornette is in the episode. Yes, it is, buddy. How do you feel about Messi winning the Ballon d'Or? Fine. I think he probably deserves it. What's your favourite John Cena match of all time? Well, the first one that comes to mind is his match against Rob Van Dam, when the whole crowd was turning against him, and I think it was like 3 times Cena threw his shirt into the crowd, and the crowd threw it back, which is amazing. I love that. that crowd really made that match. And so was it One Night Stand, ECW One Night Stand? Yeah, check that out if you haven't seen it. I'm not sure if like wrestling wise it's the best match, but man, it's got the hottest crowd. It's got a massive feel to it, you know. Yeah, I love it. We've got the music on as well that we love each week. Here we go. I gotta tell you, I was just watching a video of this countdown clock the other day. I just missed it, so I just put it on. 2 minutes long. It's just there, just vibing. Yes. Days the premiere timer happen. It's happening right now. We're living in the moment right now. 7, 6, 4, 2. Love it. Right, hashtag NWA Power. Off subject, do you think Anthony Joshua will win? I think so. We're actually going to do a live stream on it. It's such a big fight. Certainly for us here in the UK. But, of course, it's for 3 of the 4 heavyweight boxing championships. So, I feel like it's a pretty big fight anywhere. So, we will be covering it. Just a little replay of Aldis pinning Tim Storm. Now, apparently, we are going to see that stare down between Nick Aldis and the Great Muta. My bad. I meant to say wrestling channel. No worries, dude. They're selling the Fiend belt for $50. Are they? It must be a kids one now, maybe. I really don't comment, but I watch your streams almost every day. Thank you very much, Lily Rodriguez. Thank you very much. I'm pleased that you did comment because it allows me to say thank you. So shout out to Lily Rodriguez. Right, we're just having a look at Colt Cabana, Nick Aldis, Mr. Anderson. We're just seeing clips of previous shows at the moment as we're into the second countdown. There was Camille getting involved. And Colt Cabana winning that NWA National Championship. Hey, Days, I had to turn Raw off last night. I couldn't put myself through another 6-man tag. Last night's Raw was trash. Can't wait for tonight. Let's go rock and roll. Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. It was a struggle. It was a struggle. No, they haven't put up anyone's comments this week, which I'm really surprised about. I think this might be the first week they haven't done that. I'm not sure why. Camille saying something to James Storm. Obviously, big smile on his face. Right, we're down to 15 seconds now. For some reason, I love the intro music when they show clips from the previous shows. Hey, Days, what would you change in WWE right now to improve its current product? Big fan, by the way. Thank you very much, Nath. What would I change? I've said before that I think one quick thing that they could do would be to bring in the rule, and I'm sorry, many people have heard this before. It's saying the season finale. What did she say? Friendships divided. There's Thunder Rosa, there's Rock and Roll, their last stand. Oh, Rock and Roll's last stand. Can they shock the world? Tonight. And yeah. Look at that, man. Look at him. How amazing is that? I love that. Yeah, I would make it so you can only have a title shot if you've won your last 3 matches. So that means every match would matter. Every single match would count. So you could imagine like that when you're getting close to a pay-per-view, you could actually have the names of all of the superstars that have won their last 3 matches. And the challenger, the number 1 contender, is one of those names. Now, if it's the champion's right, if he wants to select someone, he's got a grudge against someone, he wants to defend the title against, he can defend against anyone. That's a privilege of being the champion. But I really like the idea that every match would automatically count. Automatically count. Because could you imagine, like, you're a week away, and all you've got to do is just not lose. I mean, and then, like, you have a match and you lose, and that's it. You can't have a shot at the title anymore. Unless you can get 3 quick wins. And then you can see shows where guys are trying to get 3 matches in the same show so that they can get number 1 contender again. And maybe they win 2 and it's all down to that 3rd one. And I just feel like there's so much drama that you could take from that. There's so many stories that you could take from that. But I honestly think that's too creative for WWE. I think that something like that would scare them. They would be scared. They wouldn't know what to do with it. Right, great crowd as always. And we are, I was just about to say, back in the Power Arena, but we've got Joe Galli backstage. So Joe Galli says he wants to thank everyone because the wrestling world has been taken by storm. Mama Storm. And there, look, there's Orange Santa. 100 years in the future? He's talking about people binge watching this. Okay, pivotal episode. Pre-order Into the Fire on Fight TV. Okay, non-title matchup. Colt Cabana versus Ricky Starks. Now, I gotta tell you, Ricky Starks has seemed all right to me, but he's not someone that's really that high on my radar. Like, we've been told that he's a big deal. We've been told that he's, like, an up-and-comer. But he hasn't, like, stolen a show or anything. This guy has. Aron Stevens is here! And a question mark! I love these two. I love these two. So Aron Stevens says he's a major Hollywood star. That's a fact. Question mark standing right next to him. Karate. Aron Stevens has got his fingers in his ears. Nice. So Aron Stevens wants a title shot. Aron Stevens puts his arm up. No one cheers. Question mark does. Yay! People love the question mark. I love the question mark. There we go. Colt Cabana putting over Ricky Starks. Ooh. Calls Aron Stevens nothing but an actor. Here we go. Keep an eye on question mark. Yay! Send Aiden English to NWA. It's where he belongs. NWA is done. No, it's just the end of season 1. Okay. I think Aron Stevens is sending question mark to the back. He's giving question mark the night off. Question mark bows. Question mark bows and walks away, taking those mad karate skills with him. I honestly thought he was naked then. But it's those flesh-colored... Is he going to wrestle in this scarf again? I love Aron Stevens. He does such a good job. He does almost look nude. Who wrestles in a scarf? Amazing. I love some Aron Stevens. I agree. Absolutely brilliant. I love the feel of this show. It's like the old days of Big Daddy and Giant Haystacks on a Saturday afternoon. Yes, indeed. World of Sport Wrestling. Here in the UK, for those in America that maybe don't know, Big Daddy. Giant Haystacks. We've spoke about Giant Haystacks before. He was in WCW as Loch Ness. Big spear by Ricky Starks. Aron Stevens kicks out. Oh my god, I should change this. It's not Colt Cabana, is it? It is Aron Stevens. And we do have Jim Cornette on commentary, by the way. That scarf really getting in the way. Aron Stevens collapses down. He's asking for the ref to come over. Stevens goes underneath that bottom rope. I think he's trying to make out his knee has given out. He might have blown his knee. He's rolling out of the ring. He's on the edge of the ring. He's surely playing possum here. Days, what's Mama Days getting you for Christmas? She keeps asking, and there's nothing I want, to be honest. Just some lovely food. Lovely food. I know he retired, but I think Christian would be amazing on NWA. Feel free to let me know. Who would you like to see in NWA? Oh, the question mark is here. Is he going to replace Aron Stevens? He's getting in the ring. Ricky Starks. What's Ricky Starks doing? I'm keeping an eye. Is he going to jump? Question mark. No. Is question mark going to jump? Ricky Starks. Question mark's going over. Starks hitting. Ricky Starks from behind. Big cheer though as he puts his... Ah! The spike! The spike from question mark, and Aron Stevens gets the victory. Celebrates with a kip up. And a cartwheel. Oh, and his knee? His knee is absolutely fine now. Amazing. Amazing. Look at that. He made what a recovery. What an amazing recovery by Aron Stevens. Aron Stevens on the one side. Question mark on the other. James Storm interview coming up next. I do love them too. Oh, hello, Planet Earth, December 2019. What is this? What is this? Order into the Fire. Featuring Nick Aldis, Allisyn Kay, Colt Cabana, the Wildcards, Aron Stevens. Oh, wow, they've announced that Thunder Rosa's going to be there. Oh, Eddie Kingston and Homicide are going to be there. They haven't announced them for a match yet, so maybe it'll be Wildcard against Eddie Kingston and Homicide. Pre-order price $19.99, or it will be $25. 25 young bucks if you don't pre-order it. We've got Joe Galley back. Loved watching Shirley Crabtree back in the day. Days, do you want the Fiend's title? I would like it, but not for that price. Revival would be... Yes, I agree. I agree. Kaylee Ray fits in with NWA. Rhymes as well, Lily. If my favorite YouTuber, KSI, goes in the ring, my two favorite things will be together. I would be happy. Well, he wants to. And I can't see why WWE won't do it. So I think 2020, you could see KSI getting involved with WWE. I really do. Genuinely. Cesaro would be good. Yes. Days the Fiend's belt is 6,500. I know, bud. So James Storm is not going to tell us what Camille said. He looks a bit like Dean Ambrose. Does anyone else think he looks like Ambrose? Or Moxley? He does, doesn't he? Ambrose? They've gone and got Ambrose? NWA pop-up event? Ask Mama Days to get you the Fiend belt. Orange Cassidy would be great in NWA. And he could tag with Orange Santa. He could. What is... Orange Santa followed me on Twitter. Amazing. Heavy Machinery would be awesome. Who is Orange Santa? Bray Wyatt, first of all. Welcome. Second of all, it's the guy in the front row. You can see him. So, James Storm says, Nick, you've been after me for a long time. And it's obvious that you are ducking me. James Storm wants to know why wasn't he #1 contender when Power first started? I find this quite interesting. He's saying that the NWA keep overlooking him, and they've actually he's shown us a couple of matches that never made air. Okay. We get to name the referee. I didn't know this. Camille? Will Camille be the ref? Oh, okay. Talking about Brian Hebner, the head ref. This is quite... I'm really into this. No way, Jose. Hey, Days. For the day before the 1st was my birthday, I turned 33. Happy birthday, Scanlan. 1201 WWE. Roman Reigns fangirl. Shout out to you. Okay. I was into that promo. I've got to be honest, I found myself... Oh! The Great Muta up next! The Great Muta up next! Oh my god! I'm guessing that's just going to be footage of what happened the other day, the stare down between Muta and Aldis, but man, the Great Muta. I hope they've signed him. I really hope they've signed him up. Yeah, what I was going to say is that James Storm thing, I was into it, but I couldn't really follow what he was saying about the official. So he said they could pick the official, but it seems like they've already picked the official. Highspots.com, little advert for that. Bret Hart Conspiracy 2.0, my dad was captain of his own shrimp boat. very cool. Muscle Man would be amazing on NWA. Hello? Question mark in a lift with Sid? He was in the lift with Sid? So he's looking at Matt Hardy and AJ. This is him at a convention, isn't it? I am loving this. Is having a chat with Teddy Long? Stevie Ray from Harlem Heat. Karate! Camille, look, he's teaching Camille. This is really cool, man. I mean, if anyone, out of everyone, he does not need this, to be honest. He's already super over. Bututa. Is that his real name? Bututa. 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 I sound like a caveman that's in a computer for the first time. Bututa? No, computer. Bututa. Who is the question mark? Right, here we go. Stephen Lazo, Days, when can you do a championship poll? I don't do them, but it's Evan that does them kind of in the background. There's the great Muta. Man, I'd love to have been at that show. To see the Muta in a venue like that. WrestleCade Super Show. Outstep Nick Aldis. Amazing. Look at this. An absolute legend. Aldis laying that championship down. Clearly wants to test himself against one of the all-time greats. I mean, look, top 20 wrestlers of all time. I'd be putting Great Muta in there. I'd be putting Great Muta in there. Melina on her way. Didn't get a very good review last week of her interview, to be honest. I saw quite a few people laying into that. It is thriving. Melina. Since I've been gone. Days are just for Elite 61 Big Show. 71 Big Show, very cool. Bututa. Legato says it's Josephus Days. The narrator is the spiritual advisor. He is creating a new cult following. Genius booking by Corgan. It can't be Josephus because he's banned. He's not allowed to compete anymore. I think it's Camille. I think it's Camille in disguise. That's the question mark. I gotta be honest. I don't think Melina is, like, dark enough to be in this role. Like, Thunder Rosa was like, she had that voodoo thing and she had the drums. And it's kind of like we wanted to know who the higher power was. And I don't think Melina really works in that role. Allisyn Kay saying she's going to slap the smug look off her face. She's towering over Melina. She's saying, let's do the match now. Is Melina going? She's not really dressed to compete. Is this going to be a title match? I love the fact that Allisyn Kay is wrestling barefoot. She's willing to wrestle barefoot, but Melina's walking away. Yeah, Melina walking away. She's walking around the other side. Is she getting into the ring now? No, here's Marti Belle. Marti Belle in there. Is that Thunder Rosa? Thunder Rosa in as well. Yeah, I just don't get, like, I don't get why Thunder Rosa is listening to Melina. Melina don't look good in NWA, honestly. I enjoy Melina. They don't know that he's wearing a mask. Bututa. Allisyn Kay getting laid out. Thunder Rosa, Marti Belle. Standing over. Nick Aldis is addressing James Storm. Got a commercial. I'm Tony Falk from Paducah, Kentucky. And I am all about wrestling, wrestling, wrestling. Waffles and Tyrants. That's why I opened my own store. Tony Folks, Waffles and Tyrants. Gold. I think this is like the third or fourth time I've seen this ad. Still love it. When you're in Paducah. Amazing. Oh, you can get a shirt. Uncle Tony's Waffles and Tire Irons. Organic and gluten-free. Oh my god, that is genius. It's a great looking shirt as well. That is amazing. This episode has been a big success just for that shirt. The Great Muta and that shirt. We got the Rock and Roll Express backstage. Shout out to Patrick O'Neill. Waffles and the Tire Irons. Genius. Here come the drums. Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, she's this really mysterious character, and I loved how Thunder Rosa was controlling Marti Belle. We're a few weeks in now to the Melina experiment, and it's not working for me. It's 2 out of 3 falls. I'm still confused about the whole referee thing, if I'm being honest. Okay. Yeah. I'm craving some waffles. That's weird. I'm craving tire irons. So Nick Aldis is telling us why one of those matches didn't make air. Apparently, James Storm wasn't meant to be in that match. He kind of forced his way in. And this is all unaired stuff that we're seeing right now. Shout out to Nolene Anderson. And the fire. I've got a shout out as well, Anthony Carter, and especially his wife Katie, whose birthday it is today. So shout out to I'm gonna go with Katie Carter. Katie Carter, shout out to you, my friend. Happy birthday. Nick Aldis asking James Storm, what have you done to actually earn a shot at the World Championship other than run your mouth? It's a good question. Hi, bud. Can I get a shout out? I am doing the Edinburgh Marathon next year. Absolutely. Shout out to Bruce Davison. Yes. So why is James Storm getting a shot? One simple reason. Because I told them that's who I wanted. There's not much passion here. Is anyone else picking up on this vibe? Like, Nick Aldis is just in a hotel room, quite chilled, just having a bit of a chat, really. Don't know. I think the promos aren't as strong this week. I can't tell if they're having to reshoot this. I can't tell if maybe they recorded it and they can't use it because of the Jim Cornette stuff or something. Because they weren't doing stuff like this earlier in Power. Power, for whatever reason, seems to have kind of changed since the Jim Cornette stuff. And I don't know if they're kind of reshooting stuff. Don't know. Days, I bought a 65-inch flat screen LG TV and the delivery guy busted it. What? No way? When he got it to my house. Did you well, I'm guessing you got a refund. Surely you got a refund. Nails and NY says he's the calm, collected type. Kind of need a bit more to sell the pay-per-view, though. That's the only problem. You know what I mean? Like, I want... So he's talking about the ref. Tim Storm. Yeah. Tim Storm, guest ref. Oh, so each... What's going on with you and Camille? Nothing. What do you mean? What are you implying? Oh, they're asking Nick. Okay, so it looks like First Fall has got the normal ref. Second Fall is going to have Tim Storm. So who is going to be the ref in the third fall? It's got to be Camille, hasn't it? It's got to be Camille. Who's choosing that, though? Who gets to choose? Okay, so Nick Aldis is saying that Camille is actually now starting to become ineffective. So he's given Camille the night off. I think she's going to be guest ref. I think she's going to be ref of that third fall. So Aldis says he doesn't want James Storm to have anything to whine and cry about, so there won't be Camille at ringside. I'm guessing on the night, it's going to be the normal ref for the first fall, Tim Storm for the second fall. It'll be 1-1, and then it'll be a big, who's going to be the ref for the third? And then down she comes in a little ref attire, and she'll be the referee for the third fall. Hello, we got kids playing football here. Is he giving out cigarettes? What are these kids are smoking? What am I watching? What is this? Kids who start tackling age 5 versus 14 are 10 times more. Do we really need tacklecanwait.com? What a random advert that was. We've seen a lot of random adverts, but that is right up there. That's like a whole health and safety video that I've never even considered. Guys, it's really, really important that you don't tackle in American football before the age of 14. Yeah? Please remember that. All you 33-year-olds out there. Don't make that mistake. Right, rock and roll are down. At ringside. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Rock and roll versus... Is it Wildcard or Wildcards? Sean Flagstaff says, weird. It was weird, wasn't it? I've just remembered, in real life, Nick Aldis... Mickey, if it's a reshoot, maybe it's because he's going through a bad time. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. I don't think Camille will. I think they've teased that she's going to, but I think Camille will actually... Surely they're doing something with Aldis and the Great Muta. Surely they're doing something there. So I think Aldis retains. Right, we've got Rock and Roll Express taking on the Wildcard. And this is for the Tag Team Championships. Could it be a case that Wildcard drop the titles and then the rematches are into the fire? Maybe we see something like that. Secondhand smoke kills. No, that wasn't the point. The point was, do not tackle before the age of 14. That's out of all of the adverts, that is the most random. Robert Roode should join NWA. Days meet me on a field in Newcastle, 10 minutes. Have you noticed there's no entrance music or flash entrances? Yes, but apparently there will be entrance music for the pay-per-view, Into the Fire. Into the Fire. Here we go, they're locking up. Nice shoulder charge. Seth is on backstage. Is Punk there? He isn't on backstage tonight. Wildcard are inviting Rock and Roll to step out of the ring. Duck underneath. Nice. Rock and Roll doing some good work. See, what Rock and Roll obviously lack in speed and agility because they're obviously a little older now. They've got all of that experience. So they can see openings and, you know, they've had like thousands of matches over the years, haven't they? They know every trick in the book. Nice. Oh, full Nelson. Oh, I love a good full Nelson. Nice. Kick to the midsection. Did you watch WWE? Do you watch WWE? Absolutely, bud. Yes, of course. We watch every Raw, every SmackDown, NXT. We watch AEW. Obviously, no NWA next week, though, apart from the pay-per-view, and we will be covering that. We are covering that. Days, I'm going to start my own WWE figure collection. How should I start? Get the figures. Get the superstars that you most enjoy, my friend. Nice shoulder charge. Wildcard with the tag. I used to love Rock and Roll Express when I was a kid. It brings back great memories. That's cool. I never watched them. this is why my knowledge of the NWA isn't as strong, because I grew up with WWE. I didn't even really watch WCW. I know the big stuff that happened, but I've not seen every single episode of Nitro because we didn't have it. And I was a WWE guy. I was a WWF guy, you know. So my knowledge of anything not WWE is sketchy. Let's put it that way. We're well underway in this match. Wildcard are up at the moment. It's had a nice pace to it. It's not been, like, slow and boring. Royce Isaacs in the ring right now. Robert Gibson looks like something out of The Hills Have Eyes. New viewers, like and follow Daisy's streams. Thank you very much, Kevin, and thank you to everyone that's joined us. This is the season finale, so I should take a second to thank everyone that has been joining us on these NWA streams. We took a bit of a gamble on it, but it's been my favourite stream each week. I think last week was a bit of a blip. Clearly, they changed the show around. This week has been better. To be honest, it still hasn't quite got to the level that they were at before. I think the promos for me, for whatever reason, were missing the mark. A bit subdued in the promos, actually. I think this is a decent match, though. I think we've got some good action here. And I'm a big fan of Aron Stevens. I really like Aron Stevens. Nice double drop kick by the Rock and Roll Express. Trying for the cover, but gets breaken up. Ferguson Khabib prediction. I think Khabib wins, but I'll be rooting for Ferguson. Here we go. Look, wild card. No. Morton. Roll up. 1, 2. No way! Rock and Roll have won. Rock and Roll Express are the new champions. Jim Cornette getting in. So we're actually seeing Jim Cornette in the ring. 9-time champions. Wow. Nine-time. I mean, look, the match had a nice pace to it. Amazing. I didn't expect that. That's really caught me off guard. So there we go. So it must be a rematch. It must be Rock and Roll Express against Wildcard. They're thanking Jim Cornette. So a little thank you to Jim Cornette from Joe Galley. It's not about beating someone, it's about outsmarting them. Oh, you can see question mark in the background. And everyone applauding. Okay, they were. Yeah. Who against? It's going to be the rematch. So, Wildcards versus Rock and Roll Express at Into the Fire. Aron Stevens versus Ricky Starks versus Colt Cabana. There we go. They're talking about Cornette. They did, yes. Price goes up on December 7th, so make sure you pre-order it. We will be streaming that show. Question Mark versus Trevor Murdoch. The Mongrovian Enigma. Ashley Vox and Allisyn Kay against Melina and either Thunder Rosa or Marti Belle. It's got to be Thunder Rosa. It's got to be. And we find out at Into the Fire. Ken Anderson against Eli Drake. I actually thought Eli Drake was going to be competing for the main title. But it's James Storm, Nick Aldis, James Storm, 2 out of 3 falls. NWA World's Heavyweight title match. Another promo from home. Oh. Who is it? Who's replacing Jim Cornette? Who is it? Good news. Barrett! Is it Wade? Oh, no way! That is huge! That is huge! Stu Bennett is joining the NWA broadcast team. Bad news, Barrett! Bad news, Barrett is going to be joining. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. That is so good. Barrett! That is big, big news. They've done a really good job there. That is really, really cool. I'm really pleased about that. He's going to bring, obviously, a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge. I think that's really cool. I think they've gone and got someone very, very good there. I don't know if I've heard him on commentary, to tell the truth, so I can't tell you what he's like on commentary, but I think I've heard him a couple of times saying that. I'm sure he did some commentary, guest commentary, like with WWE. But yeah, that's really cool. That was a great little reveal at the end, so I'm guessing he's gonna be commentating at Into the Fire. Really cool. That's big, big news to end the show with, isn't it? That's a really, really big reveal, which is very, very cool. That's an amazing addition, says LSW. That's fantastic, says Nails and NY. Oh my god, we've gone straight to AEW Dark. King Barrett, his commentary is actually not bad. LSW says 10 out of 10. I loved the promos. He was good on commentary on World of Sport Wrestling. He did say some stuff for What Culture. Daisy's great. I loved him on... Okay. Well, I'm going to say this show was 7 out of 10 show. That's my score. I'm saying it's 7 out of 10. I wasn't a massive fan of the promos. We didn't really get any kind of new commercials. We got that weird, but it was serious, that don't tackle if you're under the age of 14, which did actually come across as like a serious health and safety public announcement thing. So I thought that was bizarre. But we didn't really get anything outside of that. We are getting that new t-shirt, though, which looks awesome. The Waffles and Tire Irons t-shirt. So I think that's very, very cool. Stu Bennett is a big announcement. Rock and Roll winning the championships, I think, is cool. But I think, to be honest, it's maybe just a way of, creating a nice moment at the end of the season and putting them onto Into the Fire. I don't know how I feel about them beating the Wildcards, to be honest. It's a cool moment. I'm not too down on it. I'm not sure. It's a nice moment. It's a feel good moment. I suppose it's a really good way to end the season. Yeah, I don't know. Kind of feel like, I think I would have been happier if Eddie Kingston and Homicide had won rather than Rock and Roll Express. So yeah, all in all, much better than last week. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for me. Anador says 7.5. Sean Flagstaff says 7. Sean Hedges says 7. Dean Winchester says, I think we've hit nail on the head here, haven't we? I think we're all pretty much in agreement that better than last week, but still not the levels that we were seeing earlier in the season. I really feel like the Jim Cornette thing derailed the show. So it's probably a good time for the season finale. I think it's probably a good time to just end it, wrap it up, do the pay-per-view, come back on, the 17th, and start season 2 with Wade Barrett, Stu Bennett. That's going to be really good. I think Barrett will bring some new eyes. Maybe even some British eyes. That's true. Yeah, I think he will. I think that news will be all over Twitter. There'll be a lot of excitement about that. I think that's a very shrewd signing. So yeah, I think it's very cool. I'm just keeping an eye on this because we've got Best Friends coming out. We got Orange Cassidy, and I will never turn the TV off when Orange Cassidy is on TV. So we are going to stick with AEW Dark so that I can enjoy this. Orange Cassidy, of course, back in his double denim. Orange Cassidy sticking the thumb up to the crowd. I'm going to get that Tire Irons shirt for Christmas. Ultimately, 100% better than Raw. Hashtag I survive Raw. You're absolutely right. It was. There's no dispute in that. It was much, much better than Raw. Orange Cassidy is here. Sitting on the ring. He's kind of got his head down. Putting his thumb up. I love how he's crossing his legs as well. It's kind of like leaning on the bottom rope. I'd love it if they could just bring in, like, Best Friends for, like, a one-off match, an exhibition match in NWA. Just have Orange Cassidy on the outside. Maybe interacting with Aron Stevens. I'd love to see Orange Cassidy and, like, Question Mark interacting with each other. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Of course, you know, we can still stream. I mean, NWA Power finished really early this week. Really early. So, technically, we've still got, like, another 7 minutes. So, I know we're not stepping on the toes of This Is the NWA podcast. And I would urge that you check those guys out. It'd be very interesting to see what they make of tonight's season finale. What they make of Wade Barrett. 10 out of 10 for NWA. Jonathan says, I want the question mark t-shirt. Daisy, you streaming backstage? Sadly not. No, there's no CM Punk on it. I'd do it if Punk was on because I'd be fascinated to see what he's got to say. There is Seth Rollins, and so it could be quite interesting, but I think we can kind of get any news put into a video rather than stream it. But we're underway with Private Party against Best Friends right now with Orange Cassidy on the outside. Peter Christ. I Survived the Fiend. Maybe AEW and NWA will do that. Cody and Nick did fight for the belt after all. That's true. There is a history. There is a connection. Clearly, Cody is aware of what NWA are doing. And they do need some, you know, they're struggling a little bit with the ratings, aren't they, AEW? I'm not saying bringing the NWA on board is going to help the ratings loads, but it would certainly freshen things up a little bit. Bring in the NWA champion, you know? 7.5. It's my first time watching NWA. I enjoyed it, and I think I'll watch it more now. James, what I would urge you do is if this was your first time, go back and watch the early episodes. The first episode was good, but once you get into like the second, third, and I think especially the fourth, it's really good. We're talking like 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 shows. This was a 7, and for me, maybe even just scraped the 7. But yeah, some of the shows were absolutely incredible. It just seemed to get a little bit derailed during the whole Jim Cornette thing. But yeah, it was really enjoyable season. Thankfully, not away for too long. You know, it's not as if we've got to wait till 2020. I think someone said it's back on the 17th. Chuck Taylor with a nice belly-to-belly suplex. We've still got Orange Cassidy just roaming around on the outside. Rhea versus Dakota Kai is announced for tomorrow. Yes, of course. We are back tomorrow. We're back tomorrow for NXT and AEW. So if you are new to the watch-alongs, if you are new to these streams, make sure that you hit subscribe and don't miss out on all the streams that are to come. Because we will be doing NXT AEW. We're back on Friday for SmackDown. And then, of course, we will be doing Joshua against Ruiz Jr. at the weekend. So we've got a fair few streams lined up. Private Party are in control at the moment. Haven't seen a great deal from Orange Cassidy on the outside, kind of keeping himself to himself. There's 2 things I'm getting for Christmas. The SmackDown main event ring and the WWE Championship watch. Very cool, buddy. I've got that watch. It's a bit too big for me. I need to get like a couple of the links taken out, but it is very nice. They stream a history chat next week instead of NWA. We could do it as a test. Maybe we could do something next week. We'll have to have a think. I don't know if a history chat would... I don't know. Oh, hello. Orange Cassidy. Getting up on the... What's he doing here? Thumbs up to the crowd. Yeah, he was posing with Private Party. That's a good way of putting it. He is very indifferent to everything. and he's standing nice. Orange, everything he does is fascinating. The way he's just leaning against the ring post and he just kind of watching whatever best friends are doing. Oh, they left him hanging. Look, he wants a high five. Amazing. I think he's still got his arm up, look. He's still got his hand up. No, he doesn't want it now. He doesn't want it. What about UFC Fight Night? I've got Overeem. Yeah, hopefully we can cover both. I don't, because the boxing's in Saudi Arabia. So I'm hoping that ends before UFC starts. So, yeah, I really do want to try and cover both. I think Overeem as well has got a good opportunity there. Now, 3 are trying to make them the victim, but in reality, they hurt Dakota Kai. Yeah, I'm looking forward to tomorrow. Should be decent shows. I'll be very interested to see what AEW are going to do, actually. To try and get these ratings back. Best Friends going for a cover on Private Party. The crowd seems to be really not into this at all. People just kind of standing around and a little bit... Meh. Who do you pick to win, Joshua or Ruiz? I'm going to go with Joshua. Joshua seems to think he knows where he went wrong. He says that Joshua said that he was forcing the fight too much. So, you know, he got a nice opening. He was doing all right in the early stages. But apparently then he went in for the kill. He thought he could smell blood, went in for the kill. He didn't, stand off and try and wear down Ruiz Jr. a little bit more. Gotta remember that Ruiz is carrying a little bit of weight there. The longer it goes into the fight, and you know, if he can wear him down, and with the weight that he's carrying, you know, take him into the deep waters and see how he does. He's a big hitter, though. He doesn't get the credit he deserves. So I actually think it's going to be a very tough fight for Joshua. A very tough fight. It's a very intriguing fight, but one that I think he can win. And surely he's been just studying that fight again and again and again and again and again. So yeah, it should be fascinating this weekend. Really, really fascinating. Well, a countdown is on. Here we go, AEW. What am I watching last week or something? What am I watching? I'm watching Orange Cassidy. AEW is still crushing NXT in the important demographics. That's true. Doubt he'll stay for AEW Dark. I thought I was watching it. I'm watching something right now. I'm watching AEW Dark right now because it's got Orange Cassidy on it. This must be last week. I never watch it, so I've got no idea what week this is. But I'm just enjoying watching Orange Cassidy sitting down and chilling in the corner now. He's taking a seat. That's last week. I thought I was watching this week. Oh, well, I'm watching last week's AEW Dark then right now. If anyone wants to know what I'm doing, I'm watching last week's as Private Party with a suicide dive. Nice. Trent was looking for a bit of a power bomb there, I think. Pop-up power bomb. Finally, you've realised. Yeah. Dark's theme should be My Songs. Know What You Did in the Dark. The crowd, honestly, there's people in the front row here that are on their phones that just really are not into this. There are a few people that stand in as well. There's one guy that's got great glasses. Loving the glasses that he's got. Nice Pele kick. Days, are you NXT or AEW? I like both, Lily. I like both. I am a fan of both. I think both have got strengths. I think both have got weaknesses. I think AEW was better in the first 4 or 5 weeks. But I do think NXT has been better around TakeOver weekend and Survivor Series, and you know they've just got more superstars that they can bring in from Raw and SmackDown, bigger names, and you know you do kind of fear a little bit for AEW because I do think people want, you know, something different to Raw and SmackDown, but NXT is definitely that as well. NXT is nothing like Raw and SmackDown. So I think they've kind of got both got strengths, both got weaknesses. Days, what are we saying about Sunday stream? Trust me, we are all wrestling geeks. A history of wrestling would be amazing. It'd be a lot of fun. I wouldn't know how to structure it, to be honest. That's what I'm thinking. I wouldn't know. Would we just do it as questions and try and find stuff out ourselves? Is that going to be fun for people joining a little bit late that have maybe missed out on some stuff? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I love NXT so much. It's very cool. If I had to pick, I would watch AEW, but I don't have a DVR, and I can fast forward through the boring NXT parts, but I watch Dynamite live. Best friends are in control at the moment. I'm literally only watching this replay of last week to see what Orange Cassidy does. That's it. 1, 2, kick out by Private Party. Do a Wheel of Fun next week. Can't, unfortunately. Still a lot of drama on YouTube. There is more information kind of coming out all the time about that. that seems a little bit more positive. So I'm keeping a close eye on it. But we won't know until early January. January the 1st is when all of these changes get brought into effect. So, I mean, there's things that are being brought in now, but no one's going to get in trouble yet. They've given everyone till, like, the 1st of January. Best friends trying to work together here to put away Private Party, but Private Party are fighting back. Nice. Is that Isaiah? Nice. DDT. Orange Cassidy is looking a little bit concerned on the outside. Trent going over, gets kicked in the face, he goes down. Gomengiri. A front face kick is known as a Gomengiri. Had no idea. Sounds like that poo-pooter thing. Orange Cassidy standing in the way is like, look, no. Oh. See you later, CT Dingo. I'll be going soon as well. I'm literally just watching to see what Orange Cassidy does. Days, is Raw going back to 2-hour show? I don't believe so. Jimmy Havoc versus Brandon Cutler right now. Do you watch Women of Wrestling on Sundays? I would love to, Kevin, but it's on Access, isn't it? And I can't get that channel. So I would love to watch it. Absolutely love to watch it. Yeah, that would be right up my street. Right, Private Party. This match is horrible, by the way. It's so slow. The crowd are so dead. I think even the commentators are getting bored. Jimmy Havoc, Brandon Cutler. I'm not a big Jimmy Havoc fan, to be honest. Private Party. Both down in the corner. This match feels like it's going on forever as well. Didn't we start watching this at like 7 minutes to, and now it's 8 minutes past, so it's been on for 15 minutes? Are they going to put Private Party away? Here we go. Looks like they're going to try. Down. 1, 2, 3. And Best Friends win. Thank God for that. Honestly, that was hard to watch. That has validated my thoughts that watching AEW Dark just is not worth it. That was not a good match at all. That was really not a good match. The crowd were dead. The commentary team seemed bored. Yeah, not a fan. Not a fan of that match. What do you think about Seth turning against the entire Raw roster after their loss at Survivor Series? I think he is slowly turning to a heel. But I think they're going the same route as they went with Bayley. And they're kind of, stretching it out, if you will. Which I think is the right thing. It'll have more impact as a result. Sadly, it's bedtime. I'm tired from work today. I enjoyed Power and the stream, night, days, and the chat. Thank you very much, Dave. Really appreciated you joining us. And yeah, I'll be going myself soon in a second as well. Well, I'm confused. What's NXT? Obviously, it's the third WWE brand that's on at the same time as AEW. Please stream Backstage. It should be a great show. It's very hard to do, to tell the truth, because I do find when people are talking, you have to kind of sit and obviously listen to what they're saying. And it kind of means that we'd be sat here in silence for quite a bit of time. It's easier to actually stream wrestling because then you can talk about the action and you can talk about what's happening. So I would do it if CM Punk was on, because I think there would be, a few controversial moments, but I'm not sure you're going to get controversial moments tonight. So yeah, it's a pass for me. Right, okay. That is that. Thank you so much for joining us. Really appreciate it. Don't know what we're going to do next week. But obviously we will be back for Into the Fire. That's coming up very, very soon. I do need to go because I'm probably talking all over This Is the NWA podcast. Because I had no idea that match was going to go on for 1,000,000 years. So check out This Is the NWA podcast. They should be live as we speak. But that is it for us right now. We are back tomorrow for NXT and AEW. But of course, we will be back for Into the Fire, which is not that far away. Awesome, guys. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.